This is Channel 1 News, featuring anchor Sebastian Brock, reporter Matt Newkirk, field reporter Matt Fry, and field reporter Matt Dirksey.
Hello, I'm Sebastian Brock and welcome to Morning News on Channel 1. I'm here with Matt Fry, field reporter, and today we focus on a compelling story about the Brazilian Revolution. To tell you about it, we'll bring it to Matt Newkirk.
As the Brazilian Revolution started when Napoleon attacked Portugal in 1807, Portuguese Prince Dom João fled to Brazil to stay protected. Under British protection, the royal family left Portugal and started sailing to Rio de Janeiro. The Brazilian colonists warmly welcomed the new prince. Prince Dom João made a few reforms and abolished the Portuguese commercial monopoly on Brazilian trade, opening all Brazilian ports to trade. Dom João also repealed laws that made manufacturing in Brazil illegal. Now we send it over to Matt Fry to talk about the government that Dom João installed in Brazil.
Hello everybody. Dom João created a new government system when he arrived in Rio de Janeiro. Dom João established a Council of State and a Supreme Court. He also established a royal printing office, the Bank of Brazil, a royal library, a military academy, and medical and law schools. Dom João created the United Kingdom of Portugal, Brazil, and Algarves, which made Portugal an equal country to Brazil and the Algarves. Then Dom João's mom passed away in 1816, which is how he took over the throne. More on this story later. Back to you, Baz, for the traffic report.
Hello, I'm Sebastian Brock, here today with the traffic report. It's been a light day today, not much traffic. There has been a pileup of 8 horses on Locust Street, and Mr. Juarez's cows have gotten out on St. Jose Avenue. That's it for today. Here's it back to Matt.
Those horses, what a mess. Thank you, Baz. Revolts started to erupt back in Portugal, so Dom João had to go back to Portugal. The king put his son, Dom Pedro, in charge of Brazil. There was a lot of antagony between the Portuguese and the Brazilians, and the Portuguese parliament, which name is Cortes, made multiple policies that would weaken Brazil and make the country go back to the colonial status. Cortes also repealed the reforms that Dom João made when he was in Brazil. We will continue this story tonight on the evening news. Back to you, Baz.
That's it for us on Morning News. This is Matt Dirksey. I'm Sebastian Brock. Watch out for those horses. Stay safe. We'll see you at 6:30.
This is Channel 1 News, featuring anchor Sebastian Brock, reporter Matt Newkirk, field reporter Matt Fry, and field reporter Matt Dirksey.
Hello, I'm Sebastian Brock here with Matt Dirksey on Channel 1 Nightly News. Tonight we bring you sports, weather, and the continuation on the Brazilian Revolution story. But first, to Matt Fry on a fire on 5th Street.
There was a fire in a residential area. It killed 6. It was caused by an unsafe kitchen fire. Now back to Sebastian Brock.
What a tragedy. And now on to tonight's top story about Brazilian independence. Here's Matt Newkirk.
Thank you, Sebastian. Brazil declared independence from Portugal in September. Prince Dom Pedro declared independence. It all started when Portugal experienced the constitutional revolution. Portugal called back King Dom João VI from Brazil to sign the new constitution. The king left Dom Pedro in charge. The Portuguese military officers forced Dom Pedro to dismiss the ministers of kingdom and finance. In September 1821, the provincial governments of Brazil were put into political subordination to Portugal. Pedro was left to be in control of just Rio de Janeiro. Back to you, Baz.
Thanks, Matt, for the story. We'll get back to you in a bit. And now to Dirksey for the weather.
Sunny out today with a high of 37. It's supposed to be sunny all through the rest of the week with a cold front next week. We'll be back after the break.
Ever feel like you don't have enough spring in your step? Well, with this new workout, your vertical increased tremendously. After 3 weeks of this tremendous workout, you'll be able to fly high like this guy. To buy this product, you may go to your local convenience store and buy it for only 6 bushels of corn. And we're back here on Channel 1 News. And now to the second part of the Brazilian Revolution story. Here's Matt Newkirk.
As after Pedro was left to be in charge of Rio de Janeiro, he was ordered to go back to Europe, but he didn't. The Bonifacians and the liberals rioted because they wanted Brazil to be a colony of Portugal. The government back in Portugal continued to mock Dom Pedro. Even Pedro's wife wanted to stay in Brazil. Now back to you, Baz.
News. James Monroe has been up for re-election in the American colonies. He is a favorite to win by many accounts. What is that? In breaking news, the tomato is found to be non-poisonous. This is a shock to many. And up next, sports with Matt Dirksey.
Dirksey, and I'm here with all-star cricket player Matt Fry. You won by 143 runs this game. How do you feel about your performance?
It was a good team effort all around. I feel pretty good about it.
That's good. How do you feel about the championship game next?
You know, it's going to be a tough one, but I think we can pull it through.
Thank you. All right, now back to Matt Newkirk on the third part of the Revolutionary of Brazil.
Congratulations, Matt Fry. Dom Pedro dismissed the Portuguese military officers who instigated riots in Brazil. Dom Pedro went to Sao Paulo to get Brazilians to join the revolution. When he turned to Rio, he received a letter from the Portuguese government saying that Pedro lost all power in Brazil. Pedro then addressed the citizens, saying that all ties with Portugal were broken. There was very little fighting, and Dom Pedro gained the title Emperor of Brazil. Now back to Sebastian Brock.
Tonight's primetime lineup, we have Portuguese Housewives at 7 and What Not to Eat at 8.
Thank you for watching. See you again later.
We'll see you again in 23 and a half hours.